Licensing might sound easier than franchising, but easier doesn't mean safer. Let's talk about the differences and why it matters. If you're an emerging franchise founder, you already know this. The jump from 10 to 100 units is where most brands stall out. Not because the concept isn't strong, but because the founder is drowning in chaos. I'm Guy Coffey, franchisor, franchisee, and growth strategist. I've been where you are, and I know what it takes to build a brand that scales without burning out, selling out, or losing control. That's why I created the Franchise Scale Up Show. Every week, I'll share the playbooks, the red flags, and the mindset shifts that separate the brands that stall from the ones that scale. So if you're serious about protecting your vision and multiplying your brand, hit subscribe right now. This is the Franchise Scale Up Show. I'm Guy Coffey. Let's get to work. Okay, so licensing is really just giving someone the right to use your intellectual property. Franchising is not just the intellectual property, but they are buying your whole system. And so in this case, you are controlling the brand standards, the operations, the marketing, and the client experience. That's the huge difference. Licensing is just intellectual property. Franchising is the whole kit and caboodle on how you run your units or your territories. So in franchising, there's franchise law that protects both sides, the franchisee and the franchisor. And you actually do have the right to tell people how to operate your system because they are running your playbook, not their own. Franchising offers you as the franchisor, the brand founder, it's your baby. It offers you a lot more control over how your, not just your intellectual property, but your brand is going to be grown. Let's compare the two models in terms of three parameters: control, compliance, and cash. In licensing, there's very minimal amount of control compared to franchising, where there is a lot of control. Compliance in licensing, again, very, very little that they have to do in order to stay in compliance with the licensing agreement. On the other hand, in franchising, you have the FDD, you have the franchise agreement, you have audits, and you have controls. And then cash. In licensing, quick cash, upfront cash, but limited upside potential. In franchising, there's a little upfront cash in terms of the territory fee, but the real value is in the royalty income that you're going to get during the term of the agreement. 5, 10 years, scalable, repeatable revenue stream that's going to be coming in. So in terms of control, compliance, and cash, those are the differences between licensing and franchising.
This is a quick break to thank you for listening. Every week, we are getting more and more people listening to the show, and this growth is helping me to improve it and make it even more helpful to you. My intention for this show is to help more people win in business and life. To that end, I have a favor to ask. If you know of an entrepreneur that would benefit, please hit the share button and shoot them a text with the link. Back to the show. Make this a great day.
So when does licensing make more sense than franchising? I believe it's when there's a single product or service and there's a limited amount of risk to the brand if it's not handled the right way. Say your favorite Mexican restaurant has a killer hot sauce and they decide that they are going to sell it in a local convenience store. There's not a lot of brand damage that could happen if they don't sell that hot sauce the right way, or if they don't sell it at all. There's not a lot of brand damage, as opposed to if there was a franchise agreement, there's a lot more exposure and variability and, to be honest, options for things to go wrong. So licensing does make sense, but I don't think it makes sense if one of the aspects of your business is a playbook that helps you operate at a high level, provide a great service or a product, and that you want to scale that. When is franchising the only path? I believe it's the only path if your customer experience is something that you want similar across the country in multiple locations. Franchising, it has to be franchising, not licensing. The other thing is, if your end game is to build a national brand, franchising is the way to do it. And then third, if you want royalties as a growth engine for your company, for your own personal income, things like that, it's franchising, not licensing. The final point is this: licensing might seem easier and it's definitely less expensive, but it might cost your brand in the long term. And the second point is that franchising does take more time. It takes more money up front. But if you're looking to build a long-term asset that can be life-changing, franchising is the way to go. If today's episode helped you see the difference between licensing and franchising, please share it with another founder who's looking to scale. And if you're weighing licensing versus franchising for your brand right now, I'd encourage you to head over to geekcoffee.com and book a franchise strategy scale-up call with me. It will provide a lot of clarity in a short amount of time. Until next time, please keep scaling with speed and purpose. This is the Franchise Scale Up Show with me, Geek Coffee. Until next time, take good care.
That wraps up today's episode of the Franchise Scale Up Show. If this gave you a strategy you can put into play, please share it with one founder who needs the help. You might save them months of pain. If you're ready to go deeper, whether it's building your support infrastructure, accelerating territory sales, or preparing for private equity, go to geekcoffee.com. That's GUYCOFFEY, and book a free franchise growth strategy call. I only partner with founders who are committed to scaling without losing control. If that's you, I'd love to connect. Until next time, protect your vision, move fast, and scale smart. I'm Geek Coffee. Talk soon.